Good morning. February 22nd, 2018. You're inside my evaporator pen. Just having my coffee, eating my toast, and I'll show you the book I use for my maple sugar bush management. It's a very old publication from the Ministry of Natural Resources, but it has all the information I need to look after my maple trees. It tells me how deep to put the drill holes for the taps. It tells me what diameter of trees I should tap. How many taps per hectare and all kinds of awesome things. So as soon as I finish brekkie, I'm going to head out to the woodshed and take my stainless steel pan here, and it's on its side, and set it up. And then go check all the sap pails that I put up yesterday and the day before yesterday. It was dripping really, really well. I emptied the trees at the front here and transferred it to my big main barrel, which I'll show you later. And if the sun comes out, I'm sure the sap will start running again. It's a little bit overcast. It's still -6. We have to get up to at least 1 Celsius. And it would be really nice if the sun came out. So thanks for dropping by to Hand Harvest Farm. And we'll talk to you later. Good morning. It's February 20th, 2018. And I just saw on the Twitter feed that the locals are starting to tap out their maple trees. So I'm going to tap some maple trees. I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 spiles I'm going to put in because I have 7 buckets. Well, I have more containers and more spiles, but the other spiles I'm going to have buckets on the ground, not buckets on the tree. I've got my lids, and I like these plastic ones because they cover a little bit more area over your bucket. Keep the snow and the rain and the bugs out. This is going to go in the tree. This is going to hang. And then this is going to go on top. So this slides out fairly easily. Just twist it. It's actually easier to slide it out on the plastic ones than the metal ones. And so that's hanging in the tree, and you see these holes here in the spiles. That's where this is going to go through. Okay, let's put this bucket. Oops. That's my doohickey. So that just guides in there. Then your spile will go through this. It's a lot easier when it's attached to the tree. And just pokes through there. Except I got it all on backwards. Anyways, it's gonna go on there. It's gonna go on the lid. The lid will go on to keep the rain and the bugs out and chippies and whatnot. And that's what I'm gonna go do right now. Tap out those. And I got my drill. Now, recommendations vary between the depth of your hole for your spile. Our area, the old booklet I have, is 3 inches maximum. What I do is, if I have to go through a lot of really thick bark, I do basically right to here almost. But you only need to go in as far as this anyways. Just a wee bit past that length of the end of this spile. because after that it's just overkill. You don't need to drill into your tree that far to get adequate amounts of sap coming out. Okay, well, let's go do that. I'll set the camera up and I'll point it over to that tree in the front yard, because most of the sugar bushes are way the heck over there. Okay, let's go for a little country tour. Delete that. Okay. I can't even look in this way. More to go. G'day, g'day. Well, it's the next day, and it's chilly and the sap's not running. It's below, I think, about -4 Celsius right now, before noon. Sun's not out, but the sap I collected yesterday is in my main big barrel here, and it's frozen. Look at See the ice? I don't know if you can see that. Enough light. I don't want to lift off this screen I put on here. I just pour everything I collect from my buckets and barrels. So that's good. It's frozen. It'll stay nice and fresh. Won't go rancid on me. And I'll keep that over in case it snows or rain or some critter wants to run across the top of that. Try to keep things as sanitary as possible. And I took this down, my stovepipe, because what I want to do is get back up on this ladder and pull this piece of roofing tin a little bit more this way so it sort of pinches the chimney pipe in between the piece of wood there and that roofing tin, so it won't be jiggling around, and then it'll make the gap a little less big for rain or snow to come through. And this is going to be lifted up. Look, we had such a huge meltdown yesterday. The sap was flowing like crazy. The buckets on the trees filled up in about halfway full by the end of the day. And right now I'm going to gas up the chainsaw and I'm going to go out and I'm going to finish cutting up the rest of that giant oak tree for our next year's firewood and fall a bunch more ironwoods. So everybody have a super great day, and I think tomorrow they say the temperature is going to go above 0 Celsius in the day and below 0 Celsius at night, and that's what makes our sap flow. And later I'm going to readjust this and balance it up because it's a little bit off, unbalanced, because of the freeze and thaw we just had. So I'm going to fix that up and make it all level, and then put my stainless steel syrup evaporator pan on top. Alrighty, have a good day. And I usually use a little hammer, but that's back at the house yet. Not too much. Woo! Look at that. Squirting out already. And then what I'm going to do is put this food grade plastic on here and try an experiment. And get that sap to flow down. Saturday, March 10th. It's kind of blowing and overcast. But do we have drip? Drip! We have drip. What's this one doing? Come on, come on. Yes! It's all frozen down there. Well, we've got drip. Morning! Sunday, March 11. It's sunny, but it's windy. It's frozen. Just trying to drip. And this is how I have to do this. I have to dump my big blocks of frozen sap into this pail because it won't go down the funnel. Wow, what a difference a day makes. From yesterday's above Celsius in the plus, and now we're about -2 Celsius today with lovely freezing rain stuff. And in here, frozen. But you know what? That's a little frozen treat for me. Thank you. Look at that. Ooh, does that ever taste good? Oh, look at the big one here. There's a little bit of frost getting in the lid. Well, nothing flowing today. Look at this Mickey Mouse setup. I'm not even going to knock that ice off. I'm going to leave that on there. I've got 2 buckets under there with 2 taps. And all that ice and snow is weighting down that plastic, so. And it's really windy today. It's not so bad down here in this valley. Can you hear that rain, freezing rain? It's gonna get all over the lens now. Well, it's not a very big load of sap. It just started flowing again today. Not very much, but I thought I better empty the buckets out just to see how much I get from day to day. Okay, don't fall. So I gather it up and I pour it into the main barrel. Which is not easy to do with one hand. And camera lids. Okay. Well, that really wasn't worth my effort to go out, stomp out to the bush to get that much. But I wanted to have a look and make sure everything was still okay. No deers chipped over anything. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have another above Celsius temperatures and the sap will run. Still leveling this up. Got my level. I don't want it perfectly level. I want it to go to the back into the one corner where the evaporator pan spout is for draining out the sap
or the syrup when it's boiled. So that's the plan. Keep filling up this big blue barrel with these smaller barrels until I have enough to boil down. So today or tomorrow and the next day, maybe 3 days, if we have a good sap flow weather for 3 days, I should have enough to boil. I'm definitely going to change this system. That's full of sap. And that's hard to lift up and pour into there. And then I have another one over there. And I'm running out of snow for the toboggan, and I have too much snow for the wagon. Ooh. have my microphone on, I'm going to attempt to stoke the fire without pulling out the cord, because I'm not cordless. Get my gloves on. I just started this about half an hour ago. This probably won't work for very long because I'm tethered. So I think this is my 4th evaporator pan full sap. And when I say full, I don't mean to the top. Can you see in there? No. I'll show you in a bit. There's a scum line. It's actually about the length of my finger from this flange. So from here to here, that's how full I get it. There's some ruckus going over there. I think my dog's all tangled up. Okay, well, take 3. I'll just do a little bit of a walkabout here with the microphone on and see if we can get some better sound quality. I don't know if you can hear the crackling of the fire as good though. You can see that it's starting to get a bit dark. Yesterday, this was almost full. Can you see the scum line there? That's how filled up. I let the tank get, and then I keep adding syrup as it drops down. Roughly, it's about 6 of these blue jugs. That's what it equates to. Can you see any numbers on that? There we are. 19 liters. If you're doing metric, 4 US gallons, so 5. I'm going with metric. 19 liters times 6. And this is how much wood I have left. So, you see this pile of wood right here? From that cinder block around like that. And this big, this long. Some of them are as long as the evaporator pan and some of them are a bit longer. But that's how much I'm going to burn today. All day. So I might have one more day left. One more pan. And the sap's still dripping. If the sun would come out, probably drip. Everything was watery in the cans and buckets this morning. There was a little bit of ice, but I think that was from the couple of days before that I didn't take out. So all in all, I think it's a good syrup run. It's a good setup. I'm just going to have to figure out more easier methods for getting my sap to my evaporator without so much physical labor. And think about other farm uses that the same equipment could use. A tractor, an ATV. You have to justify the cost of these things. Okay, well, you can't stand too close to the sides of this or you start melting. And that's another thing. I would like to get a different firebox where the fire is more concentrated right underneath the evaporator. Something that doesn't cost a lot of money. Because it's all about hand harvest farm here. It's not about keeping up with the Joneses. And you know what I also discovered about cooking maple syrup? Is the tone of the boiling sap changes. So even though I can't see in there sometimes what's going on, you can hear it. It'll change to the boiling sound. And then when it's really close to being finished, it's like if you ever made taffy or any sort of boiling sugar confectionery, it just starts fuzzing up. Like, what fuzzes up? Baking soda. And it won't go down. It'll just start boiling like mad. And if it's too high in the evaporator pan, it could like boil right over the edges. So you got to be careful. Yes, I'm doing a terrible job with my zoom. I'm standing on some bricks. There's my chair. It's really quite lovely though. You know, people go to these tranquility places. I mean, this is fantastic. From here, I'm just cooking the front of me. That's throwing off a lot of heat. And the other wish list too is to have a better building to put all this in with a cement floor, because I'm a little bit worried about sparks shooting out and everything being dry. Right now it's all wet and leaves, and there's still piles of snow. Last year there was no snow, and the sparks were flying out and igniting all the wood chips that were down here. And I kept taking shovelfuls of snow and throwing it on them. And my rims work great. We'll have to put those back on the car when we're done. Just kidding. I don't know if you can hear the sound, but it just changed. It's starting to get it to a rolling boil. Probably not with the microphone on. And then I'll get my skimmer out and skim all that foam off. That's natural maple foam. Two more jugs of sap full to put in the evaporator. And I need to come up with a better method of pouring these very heavy jugs into here. And it's going to be gravity fed. But that'll be next season, because this season's almost over. Maybe 1 or 2 more burns. And I think I get about 12 liters of maple syrup from each burn. Boy, that fire feels nice today. Okay, the taste test between store-bought maple syrup and my maple syrup is, the only way I could guess it was mine is because mine has a little smoky flavor, but just as yummy. And it's going on here. Hello! Sunday, March 25th, 2018. Boiling down the maple sap. My second year with my evaporator. So far I've gathered 2 55-gallon barrels of sap. And I'm still cooking till it's the right consistency for maple syrup. Yeah. Peace out.